So I called Mario at 5 a.m. I said, go to
the fucking gym.
I just hung up.
Hey, yeah, he goes, go to the fucking gym. I laughed, and all I hear is click.
What are you going to do? It's 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm not having a conversation with you.
Maybe I wanted to talk, dude.
I got shit to do, man. Anyways.
Do your shit and then fuck off and leave me alone.
Yeah, welcome back to the podcast, Byron.
Thanks for having me.
If you guys don't know, this is Byron Ovenstone. He is a immigrant from South Africa. And then you never got like citizenship in the UK, did you? No. Can you go to the UK?
In about 7 years. No, I'm kidding. Well, gray area. I'm going to avoid it for a bit because I owe some taxes. Not sure we should put that on the internet, but fuck it. But
you left in a hurry.
I did. I dropped everything and I bounced.
Yeah.
I told the accountant, shut it down, and I was out of there.
If you want to know that story, what podcast was that, Mario?
Oh, man. You have to get back to it. Yeah, it was a while ago. It was like
time.
77.
Was it?
Yeah.
It was with Josh. It was Byron, Josh, and I, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So, but it's we in that podcast, we talk about your whole rise and fall, right? Didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, like the basics of the quick highlight reel.
Yeah.
Sports, nearly dead, fix it, Agogi.
Just like that.
Yeah. 4 steps to greatness.
Guys, if you and here's the pitch, right? Just skip all the hardship and just join the Agogi. We try to tell people.
It's not hard.
It's not hard.
Yeah. If we've done it so many times successfully, like we have a track record. So just trust the process.
Right.
The worst is when someone joins the program and they try and tell me what they're going to do. I'm like, bro,
we've had those guys.
Can we not look at me, then look at you? I was you and now I'm me. So just run the fucking play. Stop arguing.
Yeah.
Listen and run the play.
There's been a like that I can remember. There's been 2 people that have been fired, and it's literally like, no, this is my macros. No, dude, you're 30% body fat, and your life is a wreck. These are not your macros. We're gonna fix your stuff.
You've been on a permanent bulk for too long.
Permanent bulk. He's been on the Mario bulk.
Yeah. We need to clean this shit up and stop it immediately.
But anyway, South African.
Yes, sir.
And then that's our equal. What's the
equal opportunity?
Equal opportunity.
No, but isn't there like a equality and diversion? What's that bullshit they came up with? You know what I'm talking about?
They did this in South Africa. It's called BEE in South Africa.
Really?
Yeah.
Bro,
my mom lost half her business because she had to. Because if she didn't give away half of her business in South Africa, she wouldn't have been able to trade and do business. So this is
not a good look for America then.
No, you guys are on a fucked path. Like this is the one. So my mom had to literally give this woman 50% of her business, and she was like, "You sit in the corner, you do not fucking do anything. Do not touch anything. Do not do anything."
Shut up. She actually had to do it? She did it?
Yeah. Oh, she didn't give a fuck. She's making like R1 million a year, just sitting back, cushy. Happy days.
Wow.
But in order for my mom to maintain all the contracts that she had at the time, and all the government tenders and everything like that, she had to play the game. So it's like, okay.
Wild.
So you just become, government has unlimited spending when you really dive into it, right? Their budgets are pretty aggressive.
They just print more money.
So what my mom did was double the budget, double the price tag, and then she had.
You play your play, I'm gonna play my play.
Yeah, she's not stupid.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah.
So immigrant, you got put in sports young.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. When did they realize that you were a little cricket phenom? And if you guys didn't know, cricket is not crochet or croquet.
Yeah, it's a little bit more aggressive. We should Mario should put some B-roll over of like a little bit of cricket.
Yeah.
So people know.
All right, here you guys go.
Hey. Yeah, let's see how you do under pressure. I've been wanting this shit forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Hey. Ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era. I wake up early, feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the paper, boy. Extra. Fuck with me, you know that I got it. Come with me, let's take a trip to the islands. We up on the jet, we'll do more than just fly on it. Stand on that hill, you gon' die on it. Boom. Baby, I'm not one of them, you should try on it. Miss me with all that, I'm on it and next.
Like 7.
7 years old. Was it something like you're gonna play cricket and you're gonna be a phenom at cricket, or is it like you play cricket and you're like, oh, this kid has something?
It was that.
Okay.
So it was like hand-eye coordination was just way above the average for a 7-year-old. So my grandfather put a cricket bat in my hand.
Because you're African.
Maybe.
Because white guys don't have. I don't have.
You don't have hand-eye coordination?
No.
Okay.
That might be
Speak for yourself, pal.
Like, there's a lot of good white.
You're
Mexican.
you can play the shit out of soccer. I'm
Damn
sure.
it. I was a baseball player.
Were you?
We're really good at eating and drinking wine.
Oh, I've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I went to Greece for a minute.
Yeah. If that's a skill,
You got it on lock.
I got it unlocked. Yeah. And now I don't even drink or eat. So yeah.
Well, we're prepping for a photo shoot
Yeah,
tomorrow, which
right.
is rough. That's why we're sipping water like baby birds. But
Yeah. I just pissed. It was like brown,
dark yellow. Borderline like we got rhabdo at this point. It's ridiculous. It's not healthy. Don't do it.
My penis is coughing air, dust. I'm dry.
It hurts. It's unpleasant. I had a headache since.
Sorry, babe. There will be no extracurricular activities tonight.
We're running on empty.
Yeah.
What were we even talking about? Oh, when did we see? Okay, so grandfather gave me a cricket bat. I picked it up left-handed, and he tried to switch it around, and my dad was like, "Fuck no, let him play the way he plays." So picked it up this way.
So
around,
you just right-handed guy. You just picked it up left-handed.
Yeah.
Because you didn't know any better, or it just felt right.
Felt right.
Okay.
So my dad's like, "Okay, run the play." Threw some cricket balls at me, hit him nice and clean. Like, okay. And then by 7-ish, I went from playing like softball cricket to hardball. And normally you would do that at 9, 10, 11 years old. But it was like, oh, this kid, he can handle. So they strapped some pads on and let me loose. And yeah, I mean, the rest is history. By 13, I was playing with grown men who were trying to hurt me.
They're like, we're going to put this kid down.
Yeah, like he shouldn't be. He's a baby. To be fair, I was. I didn't hit my growth spurt till 18. So I was just this micro fucking kid that just took rib shots.
You
Yeah.
were a small kid?
Small fat kid.
I did not expect that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Like, when you see class photos.
Before this cut, what was your just so that people have an idea of how big you are in real life. What was your weight?
Before I started trimming down?
Before.
260. 5'10", 5'11".
You're a meatball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It occupies some space. But now 230.
Yeah.
30-ish pounds off. But we maintain muscle, which was nice.
You've done really well, man. It's impressive. I don't want to do a photo shoot with you. Yeah. These fuck sticks, we did in a meeting. I don't even know if did we even talk about this on the podcast?
Right.
We did a marketing meeting 4 weeks ago. I'm in the middle of a bulk, like the winter bulk. Like I'm not planning on shredding fur. And they're like, yeah, I think you should go ahead and jump on this photo shoot. We need more media for you for the Agogi.
I agree.
And right. Everybody's like, they agree. So I messaged my coach. I'm like, I'm totally going to get out of this. Hey, they want me to do a photo shoot 4 weeks from now. Doable?
What do you think?
She's like, fucking let's do it.
Run it.
Run it. I'm like, fuck.
Come on, Ali. I was hoping for
Bro, it was
exit.
so.
Where's my get out of jail free card? For fuck's sake.
It's been a rough 4 weeks. Yeah. But we got there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely got there.
Yeah. But that's it. Like,
it's 20 for me, just so everybody, 20 pounds in 4 weeks.
Solid.
To show the. It can be done.
Of course it can be done.
It's.
But isn't this literally the story of fucking life? Where you have these blasts of being incredibly uncomfortable and you just have to run the play anyway.
Yeah, you just do it.
There was nothing comfortable about the last 4 weeks. Let's be honest.
No.
Every single day you're like, motherfucker.
No, I
This
want
is the play?
Yeah,
Oh,
because we
damn
do
it.
like team lunches, date nights, all this different things. No. They're like, Nick, are you gonna have team lunch? I'm like, over there with my packet of turkey. You know what I mean? That's it. Just my packet of turkey. Yeah. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm gonna sip this water, have this packet of turkey with a side of air.
Mm-hmm. And a little bit of bone broth maybe if I'm feeling risky.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Anyways.
Like that's it though. You've done this in business, you did this in the military, you've done it everywhere you go. There's periods where you just have to run the play of shit you don't want to do.
Yeah.
You do it anyway.
Yeah.
What's the alternative? Be a bitch and fold?
Right. No, I'll fucking do it.
Satan.
Yeah.
Like we're not doing it.
Nope. I think that's really the difference, like in the 1%. Not get there too soon, but so anyways, you left-handed, picked up a cricket, started swinging.
Yeah.
Grown men trying to kill you.
13 years old. Well, actually, at about 11, I got my first sponsorship deal. But
What was that like?
they just gave me free kits.
So at 11 years old, you're like, I'm getting free gear.
Yeah, which
At this point, are you in love with cricket?
Yeah, at that point, it was like, okay, this is my get out of jail free card. This is
Really?
how I make it.
Okay.
So
So you, at that young of an age, you realize like, oh, this is something.
Yeah.
Like I got a hold of something here.
yeah, I knew that I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed it because I was really good at it.
Yeah.
So like I could step on the field, and it was a place where I truly felt like I belonged. So it
Did
was like,
other people like that, or did
Oh,
you rub
no.
people the wrong way?
plenty.
You didn't
I
have
had-
friends.
I had friends, but what's funny enough, I had friends, but their fathers hated me. So I got bullied not by kids, but by grown men.
This is
from
why
11
you're
years
so
old.
angry.
Probably,
I see it now.
yeah.
Yeah, lots of trauma. Yeah.
Call it that. Yeah. But it was wild. Like obviously you have the kids that bully you too.
Yeah.
But the most relentless, like cutthroat shit was always from grown men.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's pretty shitty, man.
Yeah, but we learned like you got rhino skin from a young age. At that point, dude, by like 15, I don't know how much you know about cricket, but it's like they call
Just
it
what from you and from the videos you sent me, which is gnarly as shit, dude.
Yeah. Like it's
Fucking
it's up there.
gnarly.
I mean, they call it the gentleman's game played by savages.
I mean,
Like guys at
they're trying to kill you.
hurt you.
Yeah, they're trying to hurt you.
You got a
That's the goal.
straight up. Like you got, especially when you're 13, 14, 15 and you step on stage as like a grown adult who played for your country like 2 weeks ago. And he's bowling 100 miles an hour. And he's telling you what color your mom's vagina is, and he's telling you how you fucked your sister, and he's trying to do whatever
This is
he
on the
can.
field. This is happening.
All the time, bro. In your
I did
head,
not
they're just
note that.
trying to mind fuck you the whole time. Because it's the same as like fighting, right? If you're fighting angry, you're fucked.
Yeah.
So you have to
Just stay calm.
You have to learn to just like let it go, and just stay within your inner peace and pretend like you just can't hear him. But bro,
That's
like before I learned
that's a
that,
life lesson in general.
Yes,
Yeah.
there was a few occasions where like I took helmets and gloves off and I'm ready to go, and my dad's like, "Bro, you fight anyone on this field and I'll fucking destroy you."
What was his purpose for that?
Because I'm playing with grown men and I need to be able to handle whatever comes my way.
He wanted you to control your emotions. Yeah.
But
How you doing with control your emotions these days?
I have like a limit, right? It's like so much, and then I just get to a point where I'm like, okay, like you need to get it.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
But
I'm going to introduce him to our plant medicine friend, John Stevens.
Oh, dude. Holy smokes.
he did it, didn't he?
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
He had a great time.
It was a wild time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But it's been on, speaking of that, pivoting, but that's been on the docket for ages because a lot of people have told me I should do it. I just haven't gone there yet because I don't know what it's going to bring up, dude. I don't know if I'm ready for that. It's like, that scares the shit out of me.
There's
Not much
definitely...
that scares me.
There,
It's up there.
I was too. I would say that, in talking to Mario, if anything with plant medicine, you have to do the work yourself. Because if you don't do the work initially on yourself, then when you do it, you're going to get hit with like a ton of bricks. Versus doing it and it kind of being this like aha moment where something that you kind of been like on the verge of realizing almost, or you're wanting to get some little bit more clarity, and then you're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Like, and then it's cemented, versus just like getting hit with a freaking sledgehammer. Yeah.
That's what
I did not get hit with a sledgehammer.
No, you were ready.
I was ready.
Behind the scenes.
I did.
Mario got hit with a sledge. Mario got sledged.
Dude, I was bawling my fucking eyes out.
Really?
Oh, dude.
I mean, it's good. It's still
No, it's a good.
still,
It's a good thing. Like John even said, it's a good thing. Like,
yeah.
It was. It was. Like when you cry when you're a kid and you just like hyperventilate and you're like, like when you're crying. Yeah, that's how I was crying.
Oh, so you were deep in the.
Oh yeah.
I was in there, dude.
Yeah, but he was trusted. Safe space.
Sure.
Good. Savage gentleman.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was. It was a good thing.
But yeah, if you don't if you don't do the interpersonal work, which the reality is you've done a lot of interpersonal work. Like if I say, hey, you're going to do something really uncomfortable, but you're going to grow a lot out of it.
Run it.
You're like, it's not the pit.
It's Tuesday. Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like we might have to tie him down.
Just in case.
Yeah.
No.
Unleash.
No, there's nothing happening. It's pretty cool. But yeah, honestly, here's the biggest thing. And I was sharing this with somebody, you know how that, and I think I told you in the gym this morning, you know that knee jerk reaction that you get, like you get frustrated, you want to react like this, maybe driving down the road.
Sure.
Somebody's like not getting over. They're just acting like an asshole. They're playing on their damn phone while they're driving down the highway, 70 miles an hour. And you want to have this reaction, or even physically somebody's in your way and you're trying to move fast and get shit done. You're like, get the fuck out of my way. You know?
I know that very well.
Yeah. So like I have those, as nice a guy as I am, believe it or not, you know, I have these urges
Sure.
to just like double leg somebody into the pavement and to get them out of my way. Right. Yeah. You're slowing me down. Since that, I have this initial thought about it, like for a half second. And then this other thought comes in like, this doesn't matter. And I'm like, oh yeah, this doesn't matter.
It's fucking 10 seconds.
That's everything's okay.
Yeah.
And then my day goes on a lot better. And the people that I affect and the people that I run into and all the things. And I was talking to Johnny about it actually earlier. And he was like, think about what happens when you get that kind of reaction, that kind of stressed. And then you get like, but you put that energy into the rest of your day. He's like, and then the people that you work with, the people that you your family, the people that you come in contact with, that energy gets rubbed off.
100%.
So now your whole day's like kind of fucked.
Yeah, and imagine by 5 p.m. when you've had an entire day of that, and now you bring that home to your wife and your kids.
Yeah.
And then you wonder why they don't want to say hello and they want to fucking kick you down.
Like, why are you a dick?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been noticing that it's like I have those thoughts and they fade away so fast now, and I'm like, nah, this doesn't matter. But then I show like the whole day's good. I show up to the house. I'm in a good mood, you know? So it's an interesting thing that is an interesting thing that happens to your perception of like what's important. You know, these little micro things that happen throughout your day that people get all worked up about. I'm like, none of this shit matters, man. Like, you're good. Yeah. It's okay. That's it. I would say that's one of the biggest takeaways, like surface level takeaways. You know what I mean? Anyways, so yeah, you're 13, and so now you're 13 playing cricket.
13, 14, 15, 16.
Is this pro?
Paid.
When was your
not like dollars?
When did you get your first? Whatever
Paycheck,
South African coins?
What
do you guys get?
17.
Rand.
What is it?
Rand.
South African rand.
Just rand?
I actually earned pounds before I earned rands.
Did you really?
Yeah. So I was 16 going on 17, and I got contracted to play in Leicestershire, UK.
Okay.
So
No fucking clue where that is.
Yeah, it's middle of the UK somewhere. Like I think it's like a little bit north. Well, it is definitely north of London, obviously. But yeah, north of London, like kind of there somewhere. And yeah, that was the first time I got paid actual like his match fees and bonuses and.
What were you thinking at the time?
Dude, I'm like, what the fuck? I get to like hit a cricket ball and get dollars and pounds and get fucked up at the same time. Winning.
And how old were you?
16, 17.
16, 17 years old? Wild, dude. When you went back and you got the rand, were you like, what the fuck is this, peanuts?
Yes.
I was going to say, because
like you would
I know that people in South Africa, that currency is
exchange rate
shit.
sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was like 25 to 1. So then when I went back to South Africa and they were paying me like $5,000 a week or whatever, I was like, fucking peanuts. But it goes a long way in South Africa.
Yeah,
right?
sure. But
like,
mentally.
Converting, it's a fucking joke.
Yeah.
So then I was toying with the idea of just staying in the UK full time. But I had to follow the summer for a period just because that was like similar to like how you construct your business, right? I constructed my future in the same way. Like this is where I want to be in 3 years' time. I want to be representing my country. In order to do that, I have to represent what's the equivalent of a state. So I have to represent the state first. Then in order for me to do that, I need to play these channels. So I just ran the play. Like, okay, I have to play for Strikers first, then I have to play for the Lions, then I play for South Africa, or South Africa A, then South Africa. Leicestershire, stuff like that. So I just built the plane. It's like, okay, cool. I actually ended up representing Leicestershire before I represented sides in the UK and South Africa, which was fucked up too. South Africa had a lot of politics around sports. Had to have a certain number of black guys on the team and stuff like that. So the pool to choose from is just
so wait a minute. Even in
so
Africa,
much
there's racial divide. Even like you're all African.
Yeah. Oh, but I'm too white. I'm way too white. So, yeah, it was like, okay, you can only, out of a team of 11, you can only have 6 white guys, 5 black guys.
Pay attention, America.
Yeah.
This, whatever your CTE code or whatever, I don't know what it's called.
I don't know either.
Doesn't
but
work
it's a stupid idea.
It doesn't work for
Like, hey, man, why don't we just employ the best person for the job?
Oh, wow.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't give a shit if you have a penis, a vagina, or if you're
I don't
yellow
care.
or orange.
Don't care.
No fucks.
Don't care.
Dude, are you phenomenal at doing that? Yes.
Don't care what you look like, what colors you like, who you fuck, who you
have
suck.
6 legs, bro.
I don't
We have-
care,
We have
bro.
goddamn spider.
I don't care.
Zero
Don't care.
fucks.
Are you good at what you do? I'm in, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, so yeah, already immediately back against the wall because you have an entire equivalent of a state playing for 6 positions because
Oh,
you're too
shit.
white. So already you're back against the wall. Like normally it's 11. It's still not a lot of places. There's not many seats at the table. But now you only have 6. And then you're thinking about guys that are from 16 years old to some dudes are still playing in their like late 30s.
Yeah.
So there's like a couple million people playing for 6 seats at the table.
And you got there as a teenager. That's fucking wild, dude.
It's cool, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How?
Just gifted. Well, Dad and my dad beat the fucking discipline into me.
You told me on the last one he was making you do, was it 1,000 balls a day?
Yeah. He's like, hey man, you want to make this a career? Because, like I said, at about 11 years old, I was like, dude, this is dope. Like, I think I could do this and be something. And by 13, the South African cricket coach watched me train, and he said to my dad, like, this kid's fucking solid. Like at 13, I scored more hundreds, which none of this matters to you, but just to give you like an understanding, I had more hundreds under my belt than anyone else in 13. So he's like,
What's 100?
so every single time you hit a ball and you run, that's 1. If you hit it over the boundary, it's 4 or 6. To score 100, it's a century, is like, not many people do that. It's a lot more common now just because the technology in the game has got better. The bats are so much better.
Yeah.
But back then, like you scored 100 at schoolboy level, it was like, okay, this kid's semi-decent. But when you've got 40-something hundreds under your belt and you're like 15 years old, it's like, fuck, who is this? Like it was every other weekend type shit. It's like, okay, this kid, what's up? Who's this?
Did you want to put that amount of reps in as that kid?
No, I wouldn't want to do that today. Do you know how long it takes to hit 1,000 cricket balls?
No fucking clue.
Long. Like hours. And if it wasn't hitting, it was catching and throwing.
So is it a machine like a regular?
My dad, like, yeah. So what happened is similar to baseball. You guys have the pitching machine.
Yeah.
Similar kind of concept. So my dad built me a batting cage in the back of our garden, and at one end there was a bowling machine with an auto feeder, and I would just load it up, and then I'd run down the other end, and I'd push go, and every like 15 seconds it would just shoot a ball out, and you just like doof. And then you have about 10 seconds to figure out what you did right and what you did wrong before the next one just gets sent down.
How many balls does it hold?
Like 40, 50.
So you're just hitting them 40, 50 at a time?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
For hours.
Hours. Our neighbors 100% hated us. That machine is loud as a motherfucker. It's not as good as it is now where the technology is better and it's quiet.
Yeah.
That shit was like, like echoing throughout the whole neighborhood. And every 15 seconds you hear, quah, quah. Like, what the fuck is happening back there?
Oh, like a construction site back there. Yeah.
And then you got some 13-year-old kid like, for fuck's sakes, because I know I got my foot in the wrong position or something and I didn't quite strike it the way I should. And I'm like having a mini blow up.
That would be my son.
Fucking thing.
Did you just hear my son just a little bit ago? He was in here.
Yeah.
He something happened and he said, fucking shit.
I could hear him through the door. I was like, I had my headphones. I turned my headphones on. I was like, what the fuck?
Like, dude, you're not going to fit it in school. So you're
My
not going
daughter's in trouble too.
Yeah.
The other day she threatened the cat. She's like, the cat was thinking, she's like, I'm going to fuck you up, cat. And then the cat ran upstairs. She's like, I'll come up there and get you. I'm like, oh my God, stop. Like,
when I first met Byron, he told me, he's like, oh, the way he runs his household, he goes, when you step through the threshold of my house, you're in Africa. This is no longer America. This is Africa.
There's rules that we live by.
Yeah. Like, it's a little more, there are different rules.
Yeah. So I live in Orange County. You've been in my area.
Yeah.
So pretentious, so privileged. My kids grow up like that, I'll kick the fuck out of them. Straight up. I can't handle that shit.
Yeah.
Just like so entitled, think that the world owes you something. Dude, you've not earned anything yet. You're fucking 10 years old. Like the world owes you nothing.
Nothing.
Zero.
Go earn it.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't handle that shit.
I like that thing that that Shaq says when his kids said, he said, but Dad, we're rich. He goes, no.
I'm rich, bitch.
I'm rich. You're broke. Yeah. You're basically living off my welfare.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You eat because I make it so.
Yeah.
Relax.
I'm super rich. You're super broke.
Yeah. But Shaq also probably sunk 50 million basketballs in his entire journey of life. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like he earned that shit.
Yeah. So speaking of that, that's really what I want to really like unpack here is your dad made you hit 1,000 balls a day.
Yeah, well, hit, catch, throw, something
Okay.
cricket related, at least 1,000 balls a day. 5 days a week, Monday to Friday, because Saturday, Sunday was game days. So I played 2 games a weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and then back to the ground.
So for perspective, how many hits do you do in a game?
How good are you? Sometimes you get out first ball. There's been a few of those where I'd hit 5,000 balls that week, and then Saturday and Sunday, like golden duck. First ball, fucking see you later, bro. Enjoy. Try again next week. So you hit 5,000 balls and you see none on Saturday, none on Sunday. But then there's other times where like, so when I was starting to score like big hundreds, like 180, 190, those kind of hundreds, you're probably hitting 120, 130 balls on a weekend to score 180. So you hit 5,000 to face 120 on Saturday.
That's wild.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's what it takes.
That's it. And also you got to remember that like in practice, right, there's room for error. On a Saturday or on a Sunday, when you're playing with the 1%, it's no longer about skill set. Like everyone's fucking good.
Yeah.
So now it's about moments of brilliance. It's literally like a microsecond where someone does something superhuman that shifts the entire game because everyone is fucking good. So it's like someone somewhere, like full stretch, 2.5 meter dive, picks the ball off like an inch off the ground and it just sticks in his hand and now you're gone. See you later. Game over. Come back next week.
That's it. You're done.
It's a wrap. Like, we'll try it. And we've had a lot of those too. Full stretch left hand and it just like sticks and you're like, what the fuck? I didn't even know how I did that. I didn't even see it coming. Like just instant reaction shit. So you have to be locked in, like dead set locked in for 120 deliveries. Like you don't make 180 runs by accident. Mm-hmm. It's like hyper focused. But you can only do that if you've done the sets and the reps. And
that's what I was going to say.
Fatigue.
Like, what's the correlation between those 5,000 balls in the week and then what you were able to do at the age that you were able to, like playing pro cricket in the UK?
I mean, it's
is everybody doing that, or is no?
That's why I was head and shoulders above everyone my age, because I was doing the shit that no one else was doing at my age. But I wouldn't have done it if my dad didn't make me, because I didn't know. Yeah. Well, and also as a kid, you think you know everything. Like at 13, I was going
to ask you, when did your ego kick in?
13. As soon as like testosterone kicked in, it was a whole thing. But then it kicked in on certain occasions. I didn't have an ego on a Sunday. I had an ego on a Saturday, because Saturday was school cricket. So I knew that like when I walked onto that field, it was like, I'm playing with people my age and you guys aren't ready for this. But on a Sunday, I'm playing with grown men who are still trying to make it in terms of like playing for South Africa or playing for their county or their state or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it's like, they're there to win at any cost. Mm. And you learn some tricks. Guys have Vaseline behind their ear to make the ball do weird and wonderful things. And like guys have coins in their pocket and sandpaper and all sorts of weird and wonderful things to make the ball do all of a sudden a ball like just swings massively for no reason. And you're like, fucking, how are you supposed to hit that? But so on a Saturday, probably had a little bit of arrogance, a little bit of ego. But on Sunday, it was like, check your ego at the boundary line. Because as soon as you step over there, like you're in grown man world. And then the fact that you're 14, 15 years old just pisses them off. Because they don't want you there.
So they're trying to get you out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hurt you, get you out, whatever.
How long did you play?
In terms of like my entire career?
What age were you done?
22, 23.
That's when the back was...
That's when I fractured it twice. I mean, I still played for university, like I told you last time, where I just was like, okay, fuck it, we're going to wing it. But that wasn't proper. That was just like...
That wasn't what you could do, your capability.
I was playing at 40% and still decent compared to the rest of them.
So for those who didn't was listening to that, you fractured your back swinging.
So remember that I told you about those moments of brilliance, right?
Yeah.
So I dive for a catch, like just... Everyone was like, what the fuck was that? Like, how did that even happen? Took a phenomenal catch, adrenaline's through the roof, and I didn't realize I'd landed badly. So I just like put loads of pressure on the lower spine, and I hurt the muscles that kind of support the lower back. And again, because adrenaline was through the roof and like it's a must-win situation, so in cricket you do bowling. It's not like baseball where one guy just pitches the whole time. You have 6 different guys who can bowl at any time. Okay. I was one of the guys that, like, when the shit hit the fan, I was the guy that the captain threw the ball and is like, we need something from you. Like, figure it out. So I just bowled through it as well. And then after the game, when everything kind of subsided, I was like, we're hurting. So kind of lying there. And they're like, we got smoked. And they're like, win or lose, hit the booze was the motto that we had. Right? Yeah. So everyone's like, we're going out drinking. I'm like, bro, I can't move. I need some time. Like, I'm in trouble. Long story short, went to the doctor. The guy's like, yeah, you fractured your back. It's a wrap. You need like 6 months. I was like, bro, you got 6 days because our next game is next Saturday. And if we win this, we go through to the finals. If we don't, it's a wrap and it's the end of the season. So I'm playing. He's like, you're an idiot. I was like, I don't think you know who you're talking to, doctor, but you're the idiot kind of thing because I'm arrogant, right? Yeah. Turns out I was an idiot. Yes. So walked out onto the field. Well, that week practiced, but like gingerly, super carefully. And then that Saturday, kind of, we're in trouble. Things are not kosher. We're hurting. Painkillers.
Of course.
All of them. Like Smarties, bro. Just hammering the fuck out of painkillers. And that deep heat spray and that icy cold spray. And every single time there was a break in the game, someone just ran on and blasted my lower back with deep heat spray and gave me more painkillers. And we just ran the play. And then when that subsided, that's when it was really like breathing hurt.
If you would have listened to the docs, could you have played longer, or you would think you would have been done anyway?
Oh, I could have played if I'd done 6 months and like rehabbed and done all of this stuff. But it's weird because now that I've had, like, hindsight's 20/20, right? And you take your foot off the gas for a bit and you look at your life now. I was so in love with the game at that point anyway.
Oh, really?
That I didn't enjoy it at all.
I mean, at this point, you're what?
21, 22 years.
What? 13, 14 years into it? That's a long time.
Yeah. And it's what you do 365 days a year.
Yeah, most people, like if I look at a military career or anything, most people at around the 12-year mark of the same thing over and over and over, especially at a very high stress, high demand, where you have to perform. Like, let's look at law enforcement, firefighters, sports. There's like this 12 to 14 year mark that people just kind of like, I think I'm done.
That's that's where I was at.
Yeah.
I played since I was 5. High school, went D1, then transferred to a D2 school. And then when I noticed when I wasn't playing and I didn't care, that's when I knew it was time to hang it up. Mm-hmm. I didn't have it. I didn't want it anymore.
How many years was that?
So I was 23,
So
around that
Similar
mark.
kind of time.
similar time. Yeah.
Yeah, where you walk onto a field and like you're going to do well because you've prepped and you've done the work that
Yeah, of
week,
course.
and you're going to crush.
Yeah.
But when
You're a professional at the thing that you do. Yeah.
But when you don't give a fuck about the outcome anymore,
Yeah.
whether you win or lose, as long as you show up and you do your job, that's when it's like, okay, like you're playing for.
So
the
there was a
wrong
couple
reasons.
things happened simultaneously.
Yeah, and it was like, okay, and also at that point it wasn't so much about the passion of the game. It was more about how do I get paid the most.
Yeah, and I think this is where people really get stuck because they're like, and it happened to me. I wrote a whole fucking book about it. But I think this is where people get stuck because they're like, well, this is what I do.
Yeah, I had no other skills.
Right.
It's like, this is what pays me. And if I leave this, what do? I go to minimum wage I think the UK is like $7.50 an hour. Dude, I can't live on $7.50 an hour. I'm making like $4,000 a week, $5,000 a week. You know how many hours you got to work to make $7? Fuck that. No way. So you're like, okay, well then if this is the
You
case.
think that that's the only thing that you can do. That's
I'm
your
gonna ride
limit.
this train as long as I can.
Yeah.
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 That's what we did. And then it was like when I fractured my back the first time and I was like, okay, cool, whatever. And then the second time and I was like, oh shit, this is real. Like now we do it again and there's a possibility I end up in a wheelchair. Like that's a hard stop. I think everyone at that point is like,
Yeah,
you know
because-
what, man, I don't love this enough. And
Yeah.
I don't love the risk versus reward ratio enough to risk spending the rest of my life in a fucking wheelchair. No way.
In your 20s.
23 years old, maybe.
Pass, bro.
Hard pass.
Yeah, there's a lot of life to live after that.
I'm going to live to like 90. I got another 70 years of like wheeling my ass around. No way. And also at the time, right, you're single, so you're thinking about like family and all of that stuff too. You're like, dude, who really wants to marry me if I'm like a dude in a wheelchair? Like, I mean, it's egotistical, but like there's no ways no one else is thinking that.
Yeah.
Like just because I say it, now I'm the arsehole.
No.
But everyone's thinking it.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's no way like the woman of my dreams that I want to marry and start a family with.
Especially
is gonna
because
be-
it's in your control. It's not like a bad thing happened.
Right. I was in a car wreck.
You're
where
just an
someone fucking smoked
egotistical
me
maniac that just won't stop.
with a God complex.
Yeah.
Because when I walked onto the field, I was a God amongst men.
Right.
Like that's the fact. And you probably experienced this when you were in like a high stress situation in the military.
Oh, we talk about it all the time. I was on the last podcast where like you'd think that even though it's weird, even though people are dying around you, you're like, I'm invincible.
Not me, bro.
Not me.
Not me.
Like I believe that, dude.
But also you get to a point where you're in such control of the situation where like when I walked onto that field, we would joke and me and the other batsman, I'll be like, bro, I'm going to hit the next ball and it's going to hit that sign over there. And it was like, bang.
Tink.
And done. And then there's been many occasions where I was like, if he fucking bowls it there, I'm going to hit him so far out of the stadium, we'll have to get a new ball. And the next ball is just like, whoosh. And the guy on the other end just starts laughing. He like falls over laughing. He's like, there's no ways you just called that shit. Like, yeah, I did. But you're in such a zone.
All my friends are this awesome. And I can't even fucking swing it. I can't even hit a softball.
Yeah, but you can shoot a gun like a motherfucker.
I
so
can't
there's
shoot
that.
it. I can't shoot a gun.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's funny because if you, our other business partner, Josh, have you seen him hit a baseball?
No, but I feel like if he gets a hold of it, it will still be going.
It's not getting a hold of it. He's getting a hold. It's his.
He owns that.
Yeah, he's like that. The ball's mine.
Yeah.
You know.
He was a good sportsman too in his day.
He had I think he had, if I remember correctly, he had full ride offers to Division I schools, and he also had, I think they were somebody was trying to pitch him for minor leagues out of high school.
Solid.
And he's like, no, I'm gonna go join the Marine Corps.
I'm good. Fuck baseball.
I mean, he loves baseball, but I don't. And up in Buffalo, there in his town, the baseball field is the Hansberger baseball field.
Oh no way.
So there was some rubbed egos when he decided to not follow that track. But I've watched him play, and even at his age now, and after all these years, bro, it's just like that sound. I'll never forget that sound when it's just crack and it's gone. You hear it, it's like that's gone.
Yeah. Just bring us another ball.
Yeah. Every single time he gets it's gone. it's gone.
There's elements to it. There's hand speed, there's hand-eye coordination.
Yeah.
And when you're playing at that level where you're the 1%, dude, you function different. Yeah. 100 miles an hour to you and 100 miles an hour to me, very different.
Yeah.
It's gas for you. It's Tuesday for me. Your 100 doesn't scare me anymore. Brilliant.
And I've heard similar stories with him, and I've heard clips about this with what was it? Kobe and the way he practiced, like why he got up early and practice, and how many practices, and it was all numbers. So it intrigues me that your dad made you hit 1,000 balls.
Right.
You know what I mean? 1,000 every day, 1,000. What do you, obviously, do you directly correlate that with how good you were at the game and what it did for you? Obviously there was a natural component.
Sure.
But then, like, what did that do for you? What is your concept of that looking back at it now and everything we do now?
Okay, so to put it in perspective, right? Let's say you go and you practice your cricket on a Tuesday and a Thursday is normal cricket practice days for school anyway. A Monday and Wednesday, Tuesdays and Thursdays is typically how it always falls. You go to that practice, you'll be lucky to hit 50 balls in that practice session. Okay? So now, if you're just playing a sheer numbers game, I'm 100x you every day. And you're only doing that twice a week. So you hit 100 balls from Monday to Friday. I hit 5,000. Mm-hmm. We're not even playing the same game. And that's all my dad was doing to me. And there was no method to 1,000 because he had done some math. He's just like, what's going to fucking suck and make it build that mental resilience in you? Mm-hmm. Because he knew where I was headed. He knew that I was going to step onto a field and there was going to be some really hard shit coming my way. And he's like, well, let's just condition you for chaos and misery and pain. And that, I guess that's where he just thumb sucked 1,000 and was like, that's going to fucking be horrible. So that's what you're going to do. But then you fast forward to Saturday and the level of confidence that you can step over that line with is 100-fold to everyone else, because I know I've done 500 times more work than everyone else. So if you play the probability game at that point, the probability of me having more moments of brilliance than you, significantly higher, because I've done 5,000 sets and reps.
So in your career, what would you say that how many in practice?
Well, you got 52 weeks a year, 5,000 balls a week. What's that, 250,000 balls? Is my math correct? 250,000 balls a year?
It's pretty close, yeah.
Yeah, 9 times about 10, 2.5 million-ish.
And then
hit 100 on a Saturday if you're lucky.
And then do the math. What's the percentage of actual game balls? It's less than 1%. So less than 1% of actually on the field pulling the trigger.
Right.
And 99 point something in just practice.
Right.
Can I ask this? Did your dad play cricket?
Yes. My dad played for, so there's a province in South Africa called Border, and my dad played for Border when he was younger. And then he got pulled into the military. Okay. Turned out he was...
pulled into the military?
Yeah, so back then you had to join the military when you turned 18.
Oh, yeah.
Part of a drafting thing.
Same in Greece. Yeah, 2 years.
Yeah, so he got pulled into the military, and then he decided that he actually really liked shooting guns. Well, he was a farmer, so he did a lot of shooting anyway, but he turned out to be one of the best snipers in the country and the whole thing. So he went down that route, and then when he finished in the military...
Same thing. Reps.
Yeah. Oh, fuck tons. The dude was shooting guns all day, every day. But then he went into farming because that was just his background. Mm-hmm. And then technology and whole thing.
He was good at cricket?
Yes.
Okay.
I without sounding like a dick, I was better. I was more talented. But he just, my dad's like a workhorse. My dad will outwork most people. There'll be people that are more talented than him and he will smoke him every day of the week just because he will outwork you. And that's, I think, all he was doing for me as well, was like, hey, man, I've seen guys like you who are talented, and I fucking crushed them.
That's what I was getting at.
Yeah, let's just give you the upper hand where you're both talented and you work like a workhorse.
Yeah.
And then who can
How is that
you?
mentality? Have you carried that thought process into the stage of life as well?
Every day. Literally every day. I'm like, it's at the point now where... everything I think about, I do my after action reports every day where I'll look in the mirror for it's literally 30 seconds, maybe a minute. It's like, what did I do well? What could I do better tomorrow? And what did I fucking suck at today? Like, where's the biggest room for improvement? And I just run that play every single day.
People don't realize the amount of, I mean, if you look at that, you look at any professional sports, you look at snipers, you look at law enforcement, you look at shooters, you look at anything. You cannot cheat the sets and reps.
No.
In
you
practice.
Can lie.
You can lie.
Sure. There was weeks where I said, yeah, Dad, I hit 1,000, probably hit like 600 and I was fucking done. It shows up.
It shows up in other areas.
Always.
Right. So if I take that same concept and I apply it to business, I apply it to my relationship with my wife, I apply it to being a parent.
Yep.
Right. It's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing. You want to have a better relationship with your wife, but you haven't put the reps in with the communication and the date nights and all the different thing. You're not putting the time and practice in.
Or when you're on date night and you're pulling this shit. Oh, yeah, 1 second, honey. And you're fucking scrolling your phone. Hold up. Like, how is that you turning up for your wife? Like, you're just not happening. So phone away.
So has that ingrained a foundation of, I guess, consistency over in every aspect of your life?
Yeah, so all I do is I do exactly what I did in cricket, where I just reverse engineer what like the best outcome for me will look like, and I break it down into daily things, and then I just don't miss, and I do those daily things every day,
regardless.
Hit macros, 20,000 steps, fucking train, whatever. Just build it into a plan, and then you just don't miss. Put it in your calendar, and your calendar will remind you, hey, it's 8 a.m. You need to do 2,000 steps real quick. Cool. Same thing. Like when you're a professional sportsman, 8 a.m. I'd roll up to the field and I'd hit 500 balls.
But don't you have all the excuses that everybody else have? Don't life get in the way?
Yes. But
my question is like, not being in the military, right? Mm-hmm. Like I have regardless, I can say that I'm a civilian for the rest of my life as much as that, but there's this like ingrained military portion of me. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Obviously at this point, I think 2024, 2012. So I've been out exactly the same time that I was in. Okay.
Yeah. So you could break all those good habits that you had back then quite comfortably at this point.
Could.
Sure.
And I did early on.
Yeah.
And that's why my life was fucked.
Yeah.
But even then I still had the thought. I just knew better. And right. you kind of found, if you go back to that other story, you did the same thing, right?
Bad as fuck, undisciplined.
Yeah.
Made all the bad
because you thought you did it enough.
We made it.
Yeah, we made it. You thought you did it enough that you don't have to do it anymore. That's not the reality.
No.
So there's this ingrained portion of me that has that very, very solid foundation of being in the military, being in special operations, understanding the amount of work that has to go into doing something. Mm-hmm. So I look at it now and I try to go and I look at you and I'm like, this guy, everybody has the same excuses, but you.
I was flying yesterday. I left my house at 6 a.m. to fly here. Mm-hmm. So I just went to the gym at 2 o'clock in the morning instead of 2:30.
And that's kind of my point is how do you, at this point, how do you deal with the excuses or not that obviously there aren't excuses because you don't make them, but how do you deal with the things that would be excuses or the things that possibly try to derail you? Mm-hmm. Or is your life so regimented that you don't even allow those things to enter into your ecosystem?
I like to think I'm pretty structured in my day, and my wife will say that I'm borderline robotic, but
I think she said you were, what did she say? Psychopath?
Yeah. That gets thrown around a lot too. Cyborg, psychopath, asshole. But I try and see around as many corners as I can too. Similar to like what you will do in business, similar to what you'll do in the military, similar to what you do to sports. Like, okay, we're turning up on Saturday and we're going to play against these guys and this is their strengths. Mm-hmm. How do I offset that this week? I just carry the same thing into like, okay, hey, tomorrow I'm flying to North Carolina. So I need to leave home at 6:30. I have to still work out at some way, shape or form. I got to get some kind of fucking cold therapy in there.
So I
need to hit my macros.
So you're just solving a problem.
I just look around a corner and I look 24 hours ahead and I go, what does my fucking day look like tomorrow?
You're just solving a problem. So, and I think that's where I'm getting to is because like the normal person, and I do this too, which it's funny. Like the normal person goes, like, well, I'm flying at 6, so that means I can't work out, and that means I can't do this, which means my macros are going to be shit because I'm eating on the road. You know what I mean? Like,
where they're shooting from the hip all day. There's no real forward planning. There's no real like true effort. Whereas if you put a gun to that same person's head and you were like, hey man, you still have to do your non-negotiables tomorrow.
Regardless of
the fact that you fly at 6, what would they do? They would figure it out and they would do it.
Yeah.
But they, like anything, you give someone their macros and they'll tell you how hard it is to meal prep because they're just creating so much fuckery in their life to overcomplicate something that's super easy and simplified so that it gives them multiple opportunities to break and cave.
So we deal with this
all day
because of the Agogi.
Yes.
And I wouldn't say we deal with it all day with the Agogi. We deal with it, the new people, that first 30, 45 days, right? I'm just trying to think. I'm trying to articulate. I want to articulate it in a way that not that their excuses don't or their situation doesn't matter, but it's almost like you're creating your own hell. Your perception of the problem is what's creating your own hell.
But the fact that you've lived in that for as long as you have as well is exactly why you are where you are.
Because that's normal.
Right.
Yeah.
So how about we break that pattern of life and we start just like planning a little bit and looking forward into tomorrow and creating. Like, if you truly do the work of creating the best version of you and you look at that guy and you're like, you know what, I'd be really fucking proud if I was that dude. And this dude lives like this. He eats this. He drinks this. He wakes up at this time. He does that. And you just reverse engineer it to day-to-day tasks. And now it's a case of, hey, man, this version of Byron wouldn't do this.
Kind of like what we talk about
for him.
Yeah, kind of what we talk about in the Crucible, right?
Yes,
the vision.
Exactly.
So, like, what is the vision of the most perfect version of you? And what does he do?
Right.
Do that.
100%. And if you run that fucking play, you can't miss and you can't lose.
Yeah.
That's what I did when I was nearly 300 pounds or 300 and some change pounds, 40 fucking % body fat, just a lump of lard.
Drinking and drugs.
Partying, drinking, doing all the stupid shit that when you make obscene amounts of money in London, you get away with. But if you were poor, you'd probably get locked up. Like all of that stupid shit, right? So it's like, okay, man, like the best version of me doesn't do all of this. The best version of me eats healthier, like goes to bed at a reasonable time, kind of like looks after himself a little bit. He doesn't try and kill himself every day.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's run that play. And then it's a case of literally going, dude, drinking 38 cups of coffee is fucking stupid. So how about we stop doing that and we drink some water instead? And then, okay, cool, eating 2 pizzas a day and a tray of donuts and bagels and stupid. A gallon of ice cream a day? Stupid. Stop doing that.
Were you doing all those things?
Yes. What do you mean? Dude, there was a shop.
Is that your diet plan right now, Mario?
Mario, is that
No,
your
it's
belt?
not my diet plan.
You're a liar.
It's more just like one pizza and then the tray of
Domino's.
donuts and then some more bagels.
See? That's the Byron 1.0 diet right there. You'll be at 300 pounds in no time.
Hell yeah.
But dude, there was a shop literally like where my flat was, like 100 yards away, was a Waitrose, and like I might as well have just had an account there where they just shipped me food every fucking day, because I was in there every night like, okay, I'm not going to eat ice cream tonight, I'm going to behave. And then by 6 o'clock at night, it's like, well, I'm just going to potter over the road to Waitrose and grab another 6 tubs of ice cream and sink them while I play PlayStation or whatever.
Yeah.
Stupid. So all I did was create like best Byron. What does he look like? Well, he's not 300 pounds. He's not miserable. He's not this. He's not that. He doesn't drink to escape. He doesn't gain to escape. Okay, cool. And I just lived that dude every day.
What was the and I think we talked briefly about it. I know there was you kind of saw the back end side of the banking system, which really made you hate yourself. You could go check that podcast for talking about it. But was there a singular event that made you kind of go like, oh, fucking, I hate my life, I need a change?
No, I think it was like a compounding effect of a multitude of things that were going on. Relationship with someone that was just with me because I made a lot of money. And like the fact that we could eat at Michelin star restaurants whenever we wanted, and that was good for Instagram for her. So she was living her declarative lifestyle. That shit used to fuck me off. And then it was just a compound of effects where like I was sat in a room one day and they were talking about how the interest rates, and if they did this, we could get this many houses from people. And I was like, when I actually took a step back and stopped looking at data and realized that there's humans on the other end of these transactions that we're doing.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, we're fucking scumbags.
Like you're just taking people's shit.
We're literally just taking your house.
Because we know that we move money around.
Yeah. If we increase you by like 0.25%, most people can't fucking sustain that because they have such terrible money issues and they are so shitty with their finances. And I think there's a bigger play where it's created that way because if everyone was financially stout and understood money, they'd probably be a little bit smarter and it would be harder for the banking system and the government and everyone to fuck us. But like when you look at beyond the data and you realize that, hey man, that's like 5,000 people that are going to lose their house. That means that there's like 5,000 people, like 5,000 houses that potentially have a family in there, kids, wife, dogs, cats, animals. Like, and now where do they go? So you look beyond just the numbers of, oh, we could make 400 million when we repo these houses and resell them off or like put them in our portfolio. And you look beyond that to, oh, this is shitty.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't know how much trouble I get into this, so I don't give a fuck. But we figured out
we only have 6 listeners, so you're
we're solid.
Yeah, we're solid.
I'm not going to prison.
Sorry, I got a guy messaged me on Instagram. He said, "Hey, I'm one of your listeners." So I said, "Oh, sweet, we have 6 now." That's cool.
Wicked.
We're growing.
As none of them are like in any kind of banking space where they can throw shade my way. We're good. But we figured out that if you delayed people's checks by as much as 12 hours. That most of them will go into overdraft, and then they get hit with the overdraft fee. So all we did was we just timed system maintenance to trigger when most people get paid so that the transaction wouldn't feature in their account until 12 hours later. And then that put them into an overdraft, which then automatically hit them with $25 or $50 or whatever.
Whatever it is.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, when you have 1.5 million accounts that get stung with $25 or $50, like run the math. It's a good day. It's $25 million.
What is it?
$25 million.
$25 million on a payday. Because of a 12-hour window where most people live so close and
to
it's intentional.
Paycheck. Yes.
Totally intentional.
You didn't have to do system maintenance on the 31st of fucking July. Cut it out. We could have done it at
scumbags.
Tuesday, the fucking 2nd. Didn't matter.
Wow. So it was these things were building up in your brain. I guess Byron grew a conscience.
Yeah. Well, that and also like you get to a point, man, where you truly do. You have to look in the mirror and just like look at what you're becoming. And I didn't like any of it.
Yeah.
I didn't like what I looked like. I made good money. I didn't like my finances. I knew I could have been making more money. I should have been making more money. I should have been smarter with my money. All of that. Dude, I was told to buy Bitcoin when Bitcoin was like $15 a fucking coin. And I told my buddy, I'm like, bro, you're fucked in your head. You're stupid. You know, this last Bitcoin run, he messaged me. He's like, how's retirement? I said, what are you talking about, Matt? He's like, well, I'm retired because I bought Bitcoin when I told you to.
He messaged you?
Yeah.
What a dick.
Matt, fuck you. That's what I have to say about this situation. Fuck you. But hindsight's 2020.
And
there's no ways I would have ridden Bitcoin to fucking, what was it, 50,000 a coin or whatever.
Yeah.
I would have doubled or tripled my money and pulled out anyway. So there's no ways I was making the kind of money he did. But yeah, you get to a point, man, where you look in the mirror, you see where your life's headed. And my dad, again, he's had some really big pivotal moments in my life. And he's like, who is it that's in your ecosystem right now that you want to be in the next 5 to 10 years?
There was nobody.
Dude, when I looked around, I was like, not a fucking one. They were all miserable, all cheating on their wives. They were all like drug addicts or alcoholics or workaholics.
And that was your future.
That was where I was headed.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool. So I'm going to make 7 figures a year, but I'm going to either be single or I'm going to have a wife that's never going to see me, and I'm going to end up like cheating on her repeatedly, or she's going to cheat on me repeatedly. I'm probably.
Oh yeah, she's banging the trainer, bro.
Something
or the pool guy for sure.
Like because she's bored.
Yeah,
I'm never around.
And you're bored. Fat.
I'm fat as fuck.
Yeah,
kids don't even know who you are. You're just providing them with private school. Cool. They'll grow up to have private school problems where dad's an arsehole and he was never around and whatever. And I'm like, that's not the future I'm kind of excited about. That's not the future I want for me or my kids or my wife. Okay, well, I didn't want the chick that I was with at the time either. I knew she was a problem. So I was like, okay, you got to go. And then it was just Craft 2.0.
Yeah. Go to America.
Well, that was after I graduated the project. That was, 10 months of like cleaning shit up.
Yeah. Where did you clean it up at? In the UK?
Yeah, January 1st, 2019.
So you were still working?
Yes.
You were still working. You didn't quit until you got your shit
I had
together.
To go in handcuffs.
Okay.
I had to have an exit strategy.
Okay.
And to be fair, my exit strategy was March 2020. That was like the timeline that I set myself.
March 2020 was your host.
That was it.
Dope.
Yeah. But I graduated the project
Great
November.
timing.
Yeah.
Did you?
I graduated the project November 2019, and I said, like at that graduation, and I'm like, I have to go. This is the breaking point. Like it has to be now, because if I wait till March, I won't do it. I knew. So I was like, okay, cool. So I literally stayed an extra week. I think I told you this, right? I stayed an extra week in Malibu, kind of potted around looking like California. Okay, I like this place. It's cozy. And then I flew back. My accountant shut everything down, gave away as much stuff as I could give away. And I was like, peace, we're out of here.
Took what you had and ran.
2 suitcases, out. Reset.
Do you think about the time you had those like talks to yourself, or the way that you saw yourself then compared to now? Are you just as hard on yourself that you are now
Harder.
than you were then? Harder?
So much harder.
Yeah. But do you like yourself more?
I like who I'm becoming more.
Okay.
I don't think I'll ever be satisfied with the dude looking back in the mirror, because I think there's always and I think this is one of the downsides to being raised by my dad, who was super hard on me.
Okay.
Even if I scored 100 and I fucking was man of the match and he was like, but what could you have done better? There was those 4 deliveries in the 31st over and you missed out on where you could have done this better. So now that's how I literally like run everything, dude.
Yeah.
And I'm that hard on myself. So like even this morning, I'm looking and I'm like, fuck, I got the photo shoot tomorrow and this is still kicking around here. And like, this is here. And I'm picking myself apart at all the time. And I'm like, where can I be better tomorrow? What can I improve on? I just carry that through everything.
Do you feel like that's healthy, or do you feel like there's a healthy balance to it, or do you think it can get?
There's nothing healthy about it. I think. Well,
isn't that's kind of what I'm getting at. It's definitely a catalyst for improvement.
Sure.
Right, but it can definitely turn into
borderline obsession and unhealthy.
Yeah, and I'm searching for the word here. Mario, help me out. Like, you're incontent. Always.
Dissatisfied.
Like dissatisfied with your life. Always.
Yeah.
Not content.
Without being, being at some level content with the work that you've put in, and being proud of the work that you've put into your life, your fitness, your finances, your wife, your kids. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So like there's, and I think that every top 1% performer battles this.
I think so.
You know what I mean? Because there's this inherent drive in you to like, I could be better.
Right.
I can always be better.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, I also have to be appreciative of the work that I've put into myself and where I'm at in life. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Well, that's one of the biggest things that I'm working on this year specifically, is like just being, I'm a grateful dude for the most part, but just being a little bit more grateful about like where I'm at.
Pausing and just like looking around and going, this is pretty fucking rad.
We're in a pretty good spot.
Yeah.
Like it could be way worse.
Yeah.
Obviously it could be better. It could always be better.
Always, sure.
But like just taking a second to step back and go, bro, like 4 years ago, I moved here with a fucking suitcase. And
now you got a beautiful wife, 2 kids.
Yeah. So it's like
awesome business partners.
Right. It's like
that have your back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, who else on earth could pull that off?
Right.
There's not many. So it's just like, take a step back. I listened to Ed Milet do a talk not too long ago where he was talking about being blissfully dissatisfied, where you appreciate the way you are, but you know you can do more, but at some point you still have to appreciate that you are where you are and you've done the work and blah, 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 blah. So I'm working on that, because otherwise, like, we're running at 500 miles an hour and I'm like, bro, we should be at 505. How do we lose some of this like drag and get to 505?
Yeah.
And then it's 510. When is enough? And my wife actually hit me with that just the other day. She's like, dude, when is enough? Like, what are we going for here?
You're like 1,000 balls a day. That's what it is. Yeah.
But yeah, so when she asked me that, I was like, maybe she's onto something. Maybe I'm evidently dropping the balls in other areas of life.
Yeah.
She wouldn't come out with that if I was crushing everything, right?
Yeah.
Then she'd be like, oh no, we're good. So I'm clearly like missing the mark on something, probably to do with the relationship. And it's like, okay, let's pump the brakes for a second and see where we're not meeting expectations. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm the same way. Like, as a performer, I want every aspect of my life. I look at it like a star. Like, if I have a star, every point of the star needs to be just sharp and just on point.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter if 3 of the points, if my money is good, my fitness is good, but then my relationship sucks. I'm not like a non-present father. You know what I mean? Or like what I always say is like, okay, you made it, you're successful. You made it to the end of the road. You're alone.
Right.
You just left everybody in your dust.
Cool, bro. Enjoy your lonely mountain.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Fuck it. I've been there though.
Right.
Like, I actually lived this, so I know what it's like. Top of the food chain, and then when I took like,
all the money, the cars, everything.
Ass,
yeah.
And I looked around and I'm like, bro, imagine if the shit hit the fan now and I needed to pick up the phone. Who the fuck would I phone? And there was no one. Like, I had no one that I thought of where I was like, if
doesn't sound like the situation that you would want to call your dad, because he would probably
he'd kick me in the fucking teeth and ask me how I found myself in that situation.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have nobody to
zero. Like, maybe phone your mom, and even then she's probably going to put you on blast a little bit as well, but she'll do the motherly thing where she kind of coddles you for a second and then she blasts you later.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I've heard Mario's mom do that to him.
Good. You got a good mom. But like, that's it. It's just like, dude, have a look around. You're surrounded by nobody.
Yeah.
Everyone is there because you pick up the bills or you pay for the drinks or whatever. No one's there because they like who you are. No one's there because you add significant value or anything to the relationship other than the fact that you can throw money at problems. It's fucking lonely.
Yeah. It's why it's crucial that you're a full human being.
Yes.
In all aspects.
And I had to shift like my mindset a little bit as well, because it was always about success. But I think success is very monetary. And now I focus more on overall wealth, because I think there is a massive difference between the two.
Yeah.
And I hyper focus on wealth, because I think anyone can be successful. Dude, you could lock us in this. Imagine locking us in this room for a fucking week. And we didn't do anything but just grind in this room. Dude, we'd create another 7-figure business in a week.
Yeah, for sure.
Because that's what we're capable of.
Yeah.
But like, we'd also be divorced.
Yeah.
At the end of that week.
Your kids and wife would be like, where the fuck have you
Deuces,
been?
Bro. Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah.
Oh, business is more important than us? Okay. So, successful, yes, cute, whatever.
I like that. I like that there's a difference in financial success and wealth.
Yes.
Building.
I'm hunting wealth like a motherfucker now.
Yeah.
Because I tried the successful thing, and it's cool. You have the toys. Who needs indoor driving range? Like, fuck out of here, bro. Fuck you, dickhead. But we had it because we needed it. And then I used it like 5 times.
In your house.
Yes.
Yeah.
But like, okay, you're lonely. You go home to an empty house. You play alone.
Oh, I've seen it. I've seen the guys that are successful, making millions a month, and they're fucking sad behind the scenes.
Miserable.
Sad.
So in December time, one of Hannah's friends has a business where she does the Christmas lights for like the top 1% in California, right? So there's this private estate. It's called Kodo, not far from where we live. All the houses stupidly expensive. Like Bieber's got a house there. Kobe used to have a house there. Like big money.
Yeah.
And she says she goes in there and she helps her friend out. And she's like, the wife's always there alone. It's like 8 o'clock in the morning. She's already sinking mimosas, miserable. It's like your husband makes fuck you money, but you live in a mansion where it echoes because it's not a home. It's like it's so empty, and she's 100% fucking some other dude on the side, and he's 100% nailing his secretary on the side as well. And it's like they come together once a week, maybe for an event where they have to look good, and he puts her on his arm and pretends like they're a happy couple. That's not success. No. That's not wealth. That's misery. At that point, it's like, bro, just...
I'd rather be in my camper with my family. You know what I mean?
Right. So, like, but I think you borderline have to taste that to know that it's not what you want.
Yeah.
Because I think the likes of Hollywood and all of the things, they glamify all of that stuff to make it seem so cool. Like, oh, when I drive a Lamborghini, I'm going to be fucking stoked. And then the fourth time you get in it, you're like, okay, it's a car. And it gets me from A to B. I still want a Lambo, but I want to have an abs. I want to have abs. I want to have a Lambo, and I want to have a fucking happy wife next to me.
That brings you peace, not chaos.
Yes. Peace is like the only thing that I think we need at these stages of life. Like, I don't need anything more than just.
We were talking about in the gym today. I'm like, I'm turning 42 next week. I don't do drama. No, I can't. No, I don't have. I don't have.
There's only so much energy I have in a day, and if it's going to create drama, I'm like, I have this much energy, and I'm going to stick it over here. You take your drama and fuck off over there.
Yeah, bro.
For real.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Peace.
But yeah, like I want the Lambo so that me and my wife can go on date nights and we can roll up and fucking valet and park up in there, and like I can drive like an arsehole and do my sideways driving once a week. But the Lambo is not going to
bang in the bathroom of the Michelin 5-star restaurant.
Yeah, something. But like the Lambo is no longer going to define me.
Yeah. That's not the goal.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want it because it's cute, not because it's going to be what people look at me and go, oh, he drives a Lambo. He must be good. I could get a Lambo tomorrow. You could get a Lambo tomorrow. We just put payments down if we had to. Fucking $2,000 a month. Who cares?
Who cares?
Fuck it. But
my back and knees care getting into that motherfucker.
Yeah, it's low. Yeah. But also, like, the way I drive, it's not, we're too young for a Lambo right now. Like, I will end up in an early grave. So we need to mature a little bit around that. But it's no longer defines me. It's no longer my metric for success. Like, my metric for success now is like, is my wife stoked to see me when I come home? If she's not, like, I'm dropping the ball. Obviously, keep the roof over their head and all that stuff. But, like, it has to be bigger.
Yeah.
It can't just be dollars. Because, like I said, lock us in this room for fucking 7 days.
We can make dollars.
Make significant amounts of
money.
Of
course.
It's not hard. And that's, again, like, what pisses me off when people are like, oh, I've got money issues. I'm like, bro, you have creativity issues. Yeah. You pick up your fucking phone and there is apps that you can make money on. You can walk fucking dogs, dude. Like, sign up for Walk My Doggy or whatever. Or DoorDash or Uber.
Do you know that one? Well, you know, my tier 1 client in the Agogi
walks dogs.
Mm-hmm. Tier 1 client. Mm-hmm. Paying me good money to help him grow his business.
Yep.
And sort his life out.
Oh, I'm aware.
He's a dog walker.
Yes.
He's crushing it.
Of course he is.
I mean, he does training and all kinds of stuff. But yeah.
But he's doing work that not many other people want to do. Yeah. It's not the glamorous stuff.
Yeah.
Like, everyone wants to be the fucking Instagrammer today.
I love
the YouTuber.
I love when you told me that. You're like, you don't have and you weren't talking to me, but talking about somebody else. You're like, he doesn't have a money issue, he has a creativity issue. I was like, that was a huge light bulb for me. I was like, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Like just that simple statement.
Mm-hmm. Because, like, I think I told you at the same time when we were talking about this, I said that I had that guy where I said, go onto Marketplace, collect all of your free shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy who joined.
He joined before we became Agoge. It was battle ready, right? And he's phoned up and he's like, I don't have the money. I was like, you'll figure it out if you want to. And then he phoned me a week later. And normally no one phones back.
Right.
And he's like, I got the money. I was like, no shit. What did you do? Collected all of the free stuff in his area, cleaned it up, and resold it on Marketplace and eBay. Made $750 in like 5 days.
That was the last. He didn't even need it at that point.
At that point, he didn't need battle ready anymore.
Yeah.
He signed up. He got healthier, fitter, stronger because he already had the discipline and everything.
But that was the lesson.
A wrap.
That was the first lesson.
Yeah. He's like, and he didn't re-sign after the 3 months either because he's like, dude, I'm on lock now.
Yeah.
We're good.
Problem solving.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is, again, when we like rewind to what we were talking about probably 20 minutes ago now, like he just looked around a corner and said, oh, I can do this and solve this problem and make money. Sweet. Gary Vee literally does garage sales on the weekend to show people how to make like an extra $1,000.
Doesn't he do that? Is it Mug Life? Is mugs?
Yes.
He just resells mugs?
Dude, he did the one episode where he's bought a bunch of those little hot rod cars? Mm. He bought these fucking little cars, dude, like kids' toys. I didn't know they were collector's items. There's people who collect this shit. He sold one car for like $20,000. This little fucking car this big.
Where did he find it?
At a garage sale. He paid like 50 cents for it.
Shut the fuck up,
bro,
dude.
It's on YouTube.
People just don't.
And what's stopping you from doing that other than the fact that you have to wake up early on a Saturday morning?
There has to be a society programming thing that put these people in this situation.
100%.
Like you are programmed to think that you are where you are and you have to be where you are and there's not a way out.
Well, when you look at the schooling system,
yeah,
like we could conspiracy theory the shit out of that and get real deep on it.
Well, there's no conspiracy theory. It's just
it's a fact
prison, school, same thing.
Yeah. Hey, you have to think like this. Mm-hmm. You have to. So much so that I was teaching Jameson how to do math equations, and his teacher sent a letter home saying, "Please stop teaching your son math because you're teaching him differently to how we teach him at school." Oh, so because he's better at math than everyone in his class now, you're going to tell me that I can't teach him anymore? I tell you what, bitch, how about I just take him out of school altogether and I just teach him myself? Because I'm clearly doing a better job than you.
No, it's not about the better job. It's about what they want them to learn and how they want them to learn it. And he has
to learn within these parameters, right?
Stay in a box.
Do not exceed this. Because as soon as you do, now we don't know how to control you.
Stay in the herd.
Yes.
This is stay in the box. This is where you belong.
He's reading 2 grades above him. Do you want to know why? Because I force him to read 20 minutes a day, every day, without fail. And then if he wants to play PlayStation, if he wants to watch a movie on his iPad or whatever, he reads for time. Similar to what my dad did to me. Hey, Gemma, you want to play an hour on the Xbox?
Read for an hour.
Read for an hour. He's reading 2 grades ahead of him now. To where the teacher the other day said to him, you don't have to read anymore. You're so good at reading. Don't read.
What the fuck?
I'm sorry, lady. You're telling me you're not parenting my son outside of school. So he comes home. He's like, Dad, I don't have to read anymore. I was like, according to who? Well, my teacher, Miss Alvarez, says that I'm a very good reader. I don't have to read anymore. I don't know if you forgot, but the moment you walk through this fucking doorway, it's Africa.
We've come full circle. We're back in Africa.
Yeah, this is how we play.
Yeah.
Because we play for keeps up in this fucking place.
Yeah.
So the fact that you read 2 grades ahead, that's cute. Let's make it 4.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Why are we putting a limiting factor or like a...
Let's Dr. Doogie Howsey to this bitch and get college level.
Right.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not?
Just become so fucking good at something. Because imagine, right? You fast forward. He's got now 10 more years of experience at reading at least 20 minutes a day more than everyone else. What kind of skill sets does he
and
bring?
reps.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, like, he's read probably 1,000 more books than the average kid by 18. He's going to think differently to every other 18-year-old just because of the content that he's absorbed.
Right. His perception of the world. Yeah.
So when it comes time to being hired in the workspace, he's going to see things differently. He's going to identify stuff that average people don't see just because he's done more and experienced more and read more than they have. I mean, you've employed a lot of people. I've employed a lot of people. Mm-hmm. The average 18-year-old is about as useful as a cock-flavored lollipop. Like fucking stupid and completely waste of time.
Yeah. Can you cut that for a reel, please? Thanks.
Yes.
But that's it. So it's like, okay, how do I create a fucking savage out of my kid so that by the time he's 18, he is head and shoulders above everyone else?
Yeah.
We take him to jiu-jitsu. I make him do 50 push-ups a day. It's not hard. It's fucking 50 push-ups. He goes to jiu-jitsu. He's the only kid in his jiu-jitsu class that does proper fucking dude push-ups. Everyone else is on their knees or doing these half-assed little things. He's like chest to the floor and up again. Chest to the floor and up again. Clean. Are you shocked that he's fucking gone from 0 stripes to like 3 stripes in no time at all when the other kids who joined at the same time have barely got 1 stripe? He just sits and reps. He's done it more.
Yeah.
Fucking turns up and tries.
Because you're right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, dude. I'm not asking you to hit 1,000 cricket balls. I'm not Wayne. He's a fucking psychopath, right? Like, we don't even know if you want to be a professional jiu-jitsu guy yet. So let's not go there.
Right.
But, bro, you can do 50 push-ups a day and
Yeah.
you can read 20 minutes a day.
Yeah.
Simple. Until we figure out what you're fucking good at, and then we'll go all in on that, let's just make you a well-rounded human.
Parents are so distracted, man, with their own bullshit that they're not realizing what is actually going on with their kids.
Oh, dude, you spend a lot of time at jiu-jitsu. I don't know how good your jiu-jitsu school is. It's probably solid.
As good as, look at his eyeball. No, mine.
Oh yeah, you got smoked.
Yeah.
But like, even the parents that turn up at the jiu-jitsu, they don't pay attention to what their kid's doing. No. They're scrolling their phone. And they're so deep in their own little world of misery and bullshit.
It's leisure time for them.
It's leisure time. Yeah, exactly. It's like a time for them to be away from their kids.
Some of them don't even stick around. They drop their kid and fuck off. But like, dude, why don't you pay attention to what your kid's learning? And then why don't you try some of that stuff at home with them?
I was teaching kids for a little while. I was helping out with the kids programs. And it was sad because the kid would do something really good.
And they immediately look for their parents and their parents see shit.
Nothing.
Always.
And I was like, every time I'd see that, I was like, oh, fuck, man.
Yeah.
Like that was such a beautiful opportunity to be like, yeah, you know, or, you know, give them something. Anything.
Just a fucking nod.
Yeah.
I saw that kid.
No.
Good job.
Not even paying attention. Talking to somebody else in their phone, checked
Always.
out, or outside.
Scrolling Instagram, looking at big booties or something because they fucking hate their life.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, fuck, man. Do better.
Yeah, and just kind of backtrack a little bit, and I try to explain this the best I can. And the reason why I asked if your dad played cricket was because I didn't realize what my grandpa was doing to me when I had a young age until until like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
What he was doing because he would get pissed at me and he would try to like tell me things during baseball season or when I was playing baseball. Mm-hmm. And what he was just trying to do, he was trying to show me the things that he knew that he needed to do that he didn't do when he was younger. Because when he played baseball, he was good too.
Yeah.
And he was just trying to show me and tell me the things to do because he knew those are the things that I needed to do to get better or go to the next level.
Yeah.
In your perception, he's just a dick.
He's just a dick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he's up in my grill the whole time.
Let me check this. Check this story out. So it's a friend of ours. Her husband died of cancer.
Rough.
Like, I think right around when the baby was born. Yeah. So she raised him as a single mom. Coddled him. Didn't make him do things. I guess there was probably some guilt there because of what happened. No other dude showed up in the life. So this has been like the whole time. Fast forward to teenage years. The guy, good kid.
Sure.
Good kid. Soft as fucking Pillsbury fucking biscuits. Uncooked. Yeah.
Worst.
Yes. His half brother, so his dad's son from a different marriage before he died. Stud. Fucking stud.
Right.
Basketball stud. He goes and visits them and goes to this basketball camp. This kid falls in love with basketball. Nice. Awesome, right?
Cool. Yeah.
Cool.
Send,
full send, right? not doing good, out of shape, but he's really enjoying the process. He's learning, he's having fun, he's working out, he's running the drills. This fucking breaks my heart. Comes back, tries out for the basketball team, doesn't make it. Because he's 16 years old, dude. He hasn't done shit his whole life. Hasn't done shit his whole life. Doesn't make the team. Goes to his mom. Mom, why didn't you just make me do shit?
Damn.
Why didn't you just make me?
You know how many parents have to have that conversation? There'll be so many parents where the kid, when they finally grow up, will be so pissed and so resentful because their parents just didn't give a fuck.
Yeah. Didn't push them. Didn't make them read the 20 books. Didn't make them go to practice. Didn't make them.
I'm the dickhead of my family.
Yeah.
Like the black sheep by far. Like I know that Hannah's mom and dad don't agree with what I do, but I don't give a fuck.
It's because it's not about them. It's about the future of them.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know what's going to happen because I've watched it. I fucking played at that level. I watched the kids who were talented, who didn't work, not make it either.
If my kids came to me later in life, I mean, there are older, but 2 of them are older, obviously, and said, Dad, why didn't you just hold me accountable and make me do it? I'd be better.
And you can't do anything about it at that point.
No, it's done.
That's one of those that goes so deep in there.
It stays there.
Nothing
you can do about it.
You just live with that shit.
Yeah, you have to live with it.
No way.
Yeah. And I heard that and I was like, and you know, over the years I've always been like, I wish we would just make him do it. Make him do it. Make him, regardless of what he says. You know, get rid of this guilt. It's not about that. And you know, now he's figuring it out. He's getting in shape and he's gonna make it happen. He's gonna make it happen. But to hear that finally come to fruition to where he's like, Mom, why don't you just push me a little bit? Because now this is fucking hard.
Yeah.
It's way harder than it needs to be.
Yeah, he's trying to level up to what everyone else has been doing for the last 8 years.
Right.
He's trying to time collapse 8 years in a year.
Yeah.
Good luck, kid.
Yeah. So and I'm stoked for him now.
Good.
Like I'm like, dude, take life by the balls. Yes, it wasn't done for you. You know, you took the easy road.
Sure.
You know, you chose the easy road and your mom let you, but at least you're taking ownership now and you will be better for it. You know what I mean? It's just going to be a lot harder.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, dude, I've said this so many times. Like when I was growing up, I was like, my dad is a fucking dick. Like such a dick.
But that lesson by
Fuck
itself,
him.
that lesson of reps and sets, like that's everything.
Fact.
For anything, for
Right.
business, for everything you have going on.
All of it. Because it's the same shit. It shows up in everything.
Discipline, consistency, regardless of your feelings.
Right.
Yeah.
Because, hey, man, I don't know about you, but if you feel sad today, I don't give a fuck. Yeah. Hey, Nick, I need this shit from you today. If you don't deliver, I'll find someone else that can.
Right.
We're like, and I listened to a talk the other day and it really made sense to me about why dudes are so disposable. And it's because if the guy, I can't remember who said it, but he's like, imagine if you have a village of 20 people, 10 dudes and 10 women, and you send the 10 women to war. He's like, but only one return. That village is fucked. It's a wrap. You send the 10 guys to war and one comes back. Hey, man, that guy's busy and that village continues. Mm-hmm. It's like the same thing happens with our businesses. I send Mario off to do an edit and he does a shitty job. Hey, Mario, thanks, but no thanks, bro. There's another 5 editors on fucking Fiverr that I can pay to do an edit for me. Like, are they going to be good? I don't know. I'm going to have to trial and error some shit. But like, we're all replaceable. Yeah. And I tried to explain this to my kid the other day because he was like pissed off about the fact that he has to read and none of his friends read. And he obviously has conversations with his friends and his friends think I'm an asshole too. And I don't really give a fuck. And his cousin shit talking me in the background. But again, I don't give a fuck. And I'm like, dude,
because him at 18 is going to be on a different level.
Yeah.
And he'll come back and go, thank you, God.
Thank God for that shit.
Yes.
But right now, he's just watching everyone else just do whatever the fuck they want to do when they want to do it because their parents can't be fucked to raise him. So the parents take the shortcuts of, oh, the kid's making a noise, give him the tablet. Oh, he's in my way and I need to do some shit. I'll go play on the PlayStation. Yeah. Or whatever. So they're not present. And it's like, dude, you have no idea what we're setting you up for later in life because you will be irreplaceable. Yeah. You will walk into an organization like I did when I was a finance guy and you write your own fucking checks. and they either pay it or they don't.
And you walk.
And I walk out the building and they phone me in 6 months and they pay me anyway.
Yeah.
And then I have to undo a bunch of fuckery because they employed someone who was cheaper, who didn't know what they were doing. So now, hey man, it's not 6 months of work, it's a full year, and I'm going to add a 0 because you're a fucktard. How about that? That's the trajectory he's on. But he's listening to a bunch of dipshits who are telling him that he should just be happy.
Oh, just be happy.
Worry about your feelings. Just be a kid.
Yeah.
Go and have fun.
Yeah.
Have fun, kid. But I tell you what, have fun after you've read 20 minutes and done 50 push-ups. Your 50 push-ups take less than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So I'm asking you for less than 1% of your day to do some shit that's going to put you head and shoulders above everyone else. A decade from today. It's less than 1% of your day. Mm-hmm. And then I'm not going to have the same conversations with him like I have with Tony over there, who's 40 years old, who's miserable, depressed. His wife hates him. He's 70 pounds overweight.
Your son won't need the Agogi.
No.
Right.
He won't need the project. He won't need the Agogi. He won't need the Crucible because he's had a fucking lifetime of that shit.
Yeah.
That's the end game. That to me is legacy. That to me is like doing what I'm supposed to do as a man.
And that's why we're trying to get men to be like that so that
we
the next generation.
Look at George, right? George drops a bunch of weight, gets peeled out, and now his kid's working out with him.
Yeah.
And his kid's doing all sorts of shit.
You know his kid came to last Squire and was honor grad.
Crushed.
How perfect?
Shock.
How perfect is that?
Who would have thought, right? Isaac Gallardo did bad already. He's still in the Agogi now. His kid is 10 years old running 5Ks a day. He's like, Dad, for January, I'm going to run 5Ks a day. Isaac's like, you sure? He said, yeah. Dude didn't miss. He came to Operation Blackside 2 weekends ago, got home at 10 o'clock at night, ran his 5K because he hadn't run it yet.
The kid?
10 years old, dude. You telling me that kid's not going to stomp on throats for the rest of his life when he's that disciplined?
Because his dad picked up ownership and took care of everything. Yep.
And his dad went from a lump of lard to the most jacked Mexican I've ever seen in my life.
He is jacked.
Like, bro, Wes Watson did a shit talking thing on Mexican guys one time. He's like, you don't see any jacked Mexicans, but like I've created a few. Isaac is like peeled out, yoked up. The dude's running Leadville. He's like 8%
really?
body fat for
I
the
didn't know
second
that.
time.
I didn't
He
know
ran
that.
it the first time and fucking crushed. He's like, it wasn't that hard. I think I can get the big buckle where I do it in sub fucking whatever the stupid time is. It's like 6 hours or 8 hours or something stupid. It's like, yeah, I fancy it. I'm gonna
The
run it.
Leadville 100?
Yes.
That's a bitch.
Yes.
I would not do that.
Nope.
Nope.
No way.
Nope. I would fight people for 8 hours
Sure.
while they're doing that. I will fight while you're running
I'll roll on the mats.
on the mats
Just keep
the
them coming.
whole time.
Yeah.
Rather than doing that. Yeah.
Anything but that.
Yeah.
But he ran Leadville. He's going back for round 2 now. Mm-hmm. Shocked that his kid's picking
His
up on those
10-year-old's
habits.
doing 5K a day. That's
5K
wild.
a day at 10, bro. And he comes home at 10 o'clock at night. I don't know any 10-year-old that comes home at 10 o'clock at night after a day of like fuckery at a ranch where he's shooting guns and running around.
I gotta get my 5K in.
And he's like, hey, Dad, we got 5Ks to do. I was like, bro, it's 10 o'clock at night. He's like, yeah, but I committed to a 5K.
Here's what's great about that is when you set that situation up, right? When the father leads that way, Dalton was the same way. George's son was the same way. It starts to become their idea. They're doing it not because you're forcing them, but because they want to do it. They're coming up with another guy, Jeremiah, another Agogi guy. He went to the Squire in California. I think you met him. He lives in the same island as Josh. His son's unrecognizable from after the Squire.
I believe it.
Unrecognizable. He's put on like a ton of weight. He's like deadlifting 225 at like 14 years old.
Good for him.
Like
Monster.
he sent they sent us a picture of his they sent us a picture of his notes that he wrote, and he basically wrote out a bunch of objectives post Squire program, and he's like knocking them all out.
Good.
Josh went and visited him. And he's like, dude, I don't even recognize the kid. Like he's a different kid. Like I don't know what happened.
He fucking pulled his shit together.
Yeah.
He stepped
But it's
up.
because of that transformation that Jeremiah had, and then them attending Squire, which again, Squire, April 20th.
Yes.
April 20th. 13 spots left. That's it. Done.
Be fun.
13. So sign up. The 6 of you listening.
Link in the description.
Yeah.
Link in description.
Yeah. Anyways.
But none of this is hard. That's what's so annoying to me, Nick, is like, it is hard, but it's not hard. It's just like, it's more inconvenient than hard. And I think
it's hard because it goes against, it's not hard if this is the normal.
Right.
If every dad did what you and I do, this would just be normal.
Ridiculous.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, obesity wouldn't be a thing.
No.
Heart disease,
right.
Kidney issues, liver
Did you see that
issues,
thing that I said I shared from JFK in the La Sierra thing and his talk about it?
Dude, that shit was hilarious because that's how we grew up at school.
Yeah.
That was like our schooling.
Yeah.
Dude, our PE sessions, we used to call them PT, physical torture. Dude, it was an hour, and our Mr. Combrink, like, I don't know where he is today, but like, he was a different animal. He like represented the country in rugby. He's just a fucking beast of a man. Like 7 foot tall, yoked out PE teacher. Fuck you. Our first PE session, he made us do so many push-ups, Nick. We turned up the next day at school and all of us were cramped like this because we'd never done so many push-ups in our life.
You know,
and that was every fucking
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
You don't even have PE anymore.
Jameson has PE. Do you know what they do? They like run around the block once or twice and then they play like dodgeball or something stupid. Okay.
That was mine.
Really?
Yeah.
That's going to put you places.
That's wild.
Yeah, you end up in Vegas like fucking, what's his face with Purple Cobras or whatever. Like, fuck out of here, man. Like, beat him up a little bit. Train him. Get him ready.
Yeah.
But, dude, our PE sessions were disgusting. Fucking horrible.
But if every dad was like that, imagine what the young men of this country would be across the board. Across the board.
I think I told you on this last one as well that, bro, if we lost on Saturday, we hated Monday. They kicked the fuck out of us on Monday. Like, losing wasn't an option.
Yeah.
There was no participation trophies. Losing wasn't even a thing. It didn't matter if we played the top. I mean, we were the top school in the country, but let's pretend we weren't. And we played the top school. The expectation was that we stood on that field and we stomped on throats. And if we didn't, God help you Monday.
You know what you're walking
gonna be
into
fucking
Monday.
Smoked on Monday.
Yeah.
We're going to beat the shit out of
Hydrate and eat your Wheaties on Monday morning.
because half of you will be throwing up before we even start practice.
Nice.
That's what you're coming into. So it was like, you're just ingrained to fucking win. And now you've got, today it's like, oh, well, you tried, little Johnny.
Good
For
job.
you, buddy. Little Johnny just stood in the goals and like was picking his nose while balls were firing past him.
And that's going to be little Johnny's life when he's older.
Yes.
It's going to be the same thing.
Those opportunities will pass him by just like those soccer balls did, bro. Because he's not conditioned to pick them up and see them, let alone fucking action on them.
Yeah.
And then he'll phone us at 45 years old, suicidal and miserable, and wondering why he fucking hates himself.
We'll be there.
Yeah. Hey, Johnny.
But we're going to tell you the truth.
Yeah. You're going to want to fight me, Johnny. But let me tell you, this is how it's going to play out. Like.
And your life will be forever changed.
Assuming you do the work.
Yeah.
But if you don't.
Yeah.
We'll talk about this again in 6 months. When it's worse.
When it's even
I had
worse.
those fucking conversations.
Yeah, when your wife has already left you.
Yes,
And
you've
haven't.
got a massive cocaine habit and you're living in the back of your van. I've
Yeah.
had those conversations too.
Yeah.
Hey, Travis, remember 6 months ago when I told you that this was going to happen and you told me it was never going to happen? Who's right now, motherfucker?
You shouldn't drink that water.
This is all I got left for the day.
I know, you shouldn't drink that
I'm
water.
sad about
Don't
it.
drink
Like,
it.
it's rough.
Leave it.
Oh,
I don't know if you're going to make a sauna session.
No, I'm not saunaing today, bro. I'll die. I'll die. But yeah, it's not hard, man. It's discipline, it's consistency. It's all the stuff that they're drumming out of us now.
Yeah. It's by design.
Yeah.
So they can
Short-term
control.
gratification, Instagram reels
Yeah.
at 5 seconds a piece, TikTok reels. Like, attention span sucks. If you're not good at anything, just quit.
Yeah.
Don't try. Dude, I had World War III in my house the other day because my son wanted to build a fucking robot out of cardboard. And he wouldn't. He couldn't figure out like the micro pieces, like, oh, how do you make the arm bend and stuff? And he quit. I'm like, no. We finish where we start.
Yeah, we're building a robot.
You build a fucking robot and you figure it out.
Yeah.
And you try. And then I told him the whole Edison with the light 10,000 times, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, it was the whole thing because he ended up quitting and I wanted to fucking kick him down the stairs. It's one of those battles where you choose your battles with mom. And it was like one of those. I was like, okay, this is not worth it.
Byron lost.
Byron didn't lose. We just
lost the battle. Lost the battle.
It's not a hill I'm dying on today.
Yeah, he went in the war.
Yeah, it's not a hill I'm dying on today.
Guys, if you want to get coached by Byron, links below.
Yeah, I'll hurt your feelings, probably.
Yeah, well, we make. I don't know. It's weird to say, man, but we, I don't know how an inspirational way to say it, but we rebuild men. We make men and men again. Those ones that are not just, and people talk a lot of shit, but the reality is, you go look in the fucking mirror. You know exactly who you are. You know where you stand, where you line up. If you get up 10 men, where do you line up?
Yeah.
Where do you line up? And not just in one area, in all areas. In all the areas, where do you line up? And if that average is subpar, well, call us. And
I don't know if this is just like I hate to use the word alpha thing, but like a one. Let's go with 1%.
I don't know if it's an alpha thing because I'm pretty like, you call me Captain Save-A-Ho all the time.
You are Captain Save-A-Ho. But I bet when you walk into a room, you size up every single room and you know exactly where you stand.
Oh, of course.
Like, hey, man, if shit kicks down, I'm going to kill him first.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to maim him first because he's going to be a threat.
Of course.
We do that everywhere we go. There was at Operation Black Site that I was at a couple weeks ago, like I told you about. Tim Kennedy was talking to the guys and he's like, bro, I walk into a room and I assess every single one of you.
I have a plan to kill everybody.
None of you are a threat. Like, you're all soft and like softer than 4-ply toilet paper. Like, I'm not even stressed about any of you. And I was trying to relay that to my son as well, where I'm like, bro, you want to walk into a room and you want to be the most dangerous guy in there.
Yeah.
Or at least be perceived to be.
Yeah.
And if you're a lump of lard who's like munching on his little Oreos, doing the fucking wall walk because you're so scared to be seen, you're not a threat.
Yeah.
Like, I walk into a room, I want that shit to part like the seas of Moses, dude. Like, everyone get the fuck out of my way because I've arrived. That's what I'm shooting for. Because the probability of me and the gelatinous guy walking down the street and an opportunist fucking with me versus the gelatinous guy, he's going gelatinous every day.
Target of opportunity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Risk versus reward.
Yeah.
Simple.
Hard target, soft target.
He looks like he might fucking do something.
Yeah.
I don't want to know what he's capable of. He looks like he's pounded Oreos his whole life. I bet he's barely broken a sweat.
Soft target.
Easy.
I'm
going to run that play.
Yeah. Don't be the soft gelatinous guy. No. Or if you are, turn into the other version of yourself. Fix it.
And it's not hard to do.
Yeah.
Like, we have the blueprint. Click the link.
Guys, if you want to follow Byron, follow him on Instagram. It's hilarious. It's so much fun. I love it. It's especially when you go on your rants in the car.
Yeah.
Back from the gym. Those are the best.
I have a few of those, or when I'm out walking about.
Walking about? Yeah.
I like those.
The walking abouts are really good too.
As well. Just get it off my chest. Sometimes I come back from my walk and my wife's like, "You good?" I'm like, "I am now." I just went to therapy for 30 minutes.
I just screamed at thousands of people on the internet.
Yeah. All 15,000 of my followers know where I'm at right now.
Well, guys, do me a favor. You know the deal. Drop us a comment below. I'll make Byron respond to all of them.
I'll do that.
In all caps.
Ask me for advice so I can shout at you.
Yeah. And screenshot this, tag us. Yeah. Share this with your flat gelatinous friend that needed to hear it.
And your undisciplined friends.
And your undisciplined friends.
Undisciplined
Aren't
people
those
can
the
be
same?
Like, well, they can be skinny too.
Oh, yeah.
Got a few of them who just don't eat and train properly, but they're like
same situation. That's true.
I'd still fuck with them versus fuck with someone who looks like me.
Yeah. Yes. So do that. And guys, thanks for listening all the way to the end.
Yeah.
Other than that,
this far. We're like 2 hours into this shit.
Yeah.
Hour 45.
Yeah. We sent it.
Never quit, never surrender. We always keep moving forward. Peace out, everybody.
Peace.